The Vikings weren't just fierce warriors with axes in hand. They were survival engineers who built homes that outsmarted the Arctic cold long before modern architects even understood the concept. Forget the image of smoky huts or drafty wooden halls. These northern explorers mastered a lost art of heat, turning the earth itself into a relentless, silent ally. And today, that ancient wisdom isn't just history. It's a survival blueprint that could teach us all how to live smarter, warmer, and off-grid. Winter in the far north isn't just cold, it's relentless. Months of frozen winds, minimal sunlight, and scarce firewood made survival a daily challenge. Every spark mattered. The Vikings didn't burn through fuel. They built homes that stored heat like batteries. By carving partially into slopes or layering walls with soil and turf, they transformed the ground into insulation. The dense earth absorbed warmth during the day and released it steadily at night, a principle modern scientists call thermal mass. It's one thing to trap heat with walls. It's another to make the house itself a heat engine. Inside a Viking longhouse, a central hearth wasn't just for cooking. It powered the home. Heat radiated into packed dirt floors and thick turf walls, keeping spaces comfortable for hours after the fire died. Even without electricity or insulation foam, interiors stayed between 15 and 18 degrees Celsius, warm and stable through the harshest storms. The real mastery wasn't just in materials, it was in design. Vikings controlled airflow with precision. Small roof vents let smoke escape, while hot air circulated low where people slept and worked. Fresh oxygen came in without stealing heat, and smoke drifted out without cooling the home. Modern architects spend fortunes trying to replicate this passive heating efficiency. Vikings did it instinctively with turf, timber, and sheer survival smarts. It was simple, effective, and elegant, a system that fought nature not by force, but by cooperation. The walls weren't just insulation, they muted wind, balanced humidity, and resisted fire. The floor wasn't just ground, it was a thermal battery. Every design choice served a purpose. They didn't just survive the cold, they turned it into a predictable, manageable part of daily life. So if it worked so well, why isn't it common today? Pride and perception killed it. By the 12th century, rising kingdoms and shifting cultures equated earth-sheltered homes with poverty. Builders abandoned practical turf houses for grand timber halls and stone manors that screamed power but leaked heat like sieves. Architectural manuals stopped teaching earth techniques. What had been cutting-edge survival science became peasant architecture, buried under centuries of fashion, ego, and misplaced priorities. Only in isolated pockets, like certain remote northern regions, did a few turf houses survive long enough for modern researchers to rediscover them. And the findings were astounding. The principles were not primitive. They were genius, durable, and more efficient than many modern systems. For anyone serious about off-grid living, prepping, or sustainable building, Viking methods are pure gold. The key is, honestly, letting the land do the work. A home built partially into a slope or embankment uses the earth itself as insulation. Modern builders, can replace turf with rammed earth, compressed earth bricks, or cob. Materials that mimic thermal mass, storing heat during the day and releasing it at night. Layering is critical. Adding natural insulation like straw, hemp, or wood fiber between the inner walls and earth layer replicates the Vikings' turf system. Combine that with a modern equivalent of the central hearth, a rocket mass heater, and you've got a home that burns minimal fuel, channels exhaust heat efficiently, and stays warm long after the fire dies. Airflow is the silent weapon. Low oxygen inlets and high exhaust vents recreate Viking smoke control, maintaining oxygen without losing heat. With these strategies, you can recreate a 1,000-year-old climate control system without a single watt of electricity. What the Vikings built wasn't primitive. It was perfected simplicity. They didn't conquer nature. They cooperated with it. Their homes lasted for generations, resisted fire, moderated humidity, and held heat through months of storm and snow. A house like that isn't just comfortable, it's resilient. In today's world of rising energy costs and climate instability, these designs aren't relics. They're forward-looking solutions disguised as history. Think about it. A home that requires no grid power, burns almost no fuel, maintains steady warmth through winter storms, and lasts for generations without replacement parts. That's not outdated, it's brilliance. And it's all based on understanding materials, airflow, and the land. Whether you're prepping for off-grid life, experimenting with sustainable building, or just curious about ancient engineering, Viking homes offer actionable lessons. Look at the land, not just the blueprint. Let natural slopes and earth layers do the work. Use materials with thermal mass. Incorporate smart heating and airflow. Every element of the house should work in harmony with the environment, not against it. This isn't theory. Researchers have proven that interiors of reconstructed Viking homes stayed comfortably warm without modern materials. The same principles can be adapted today. For anyone serious about living smarter with less, these designs are a blueprint for resilience, energy efficiency, and survival. The next time someone talks about sustainable housing or off-grid living, just remember the Vikings were doing it 1,000 years ago. Their homes weren't just shelters. They were living, breathing systems that made cold a manageable, even predictable factor. They turned survival into science, instinct into design, and hardship into comfort. If you want to build smarter, live warmer, and embrace true survival wisdom, look to the past. The secrets of the Vikings are buried in the ground, waiting to teach anyone who's willing to listen. So if you found this breakdown valuable, hit that subscribe button and share it with your tribe. Here on Wisdom from the Frontlines, we don't just talk history, we pull survival lessons from the past and make them work today. Stay curious, stay ready, and remember, sometimes the smartest survival tools are hidden in plain sight right beneath your feet.